Alright, in this video, we are looking at deriving classes. Now, a Python class can be created as a brand new class, like those in previous examples, or it can be derived from an existing class. Now, most importantly is that if you derive a class from an existing class, it inherits members of the parent or base class from which it is derived from. Okay, so any variables or methods or functions within the base class are inherited into the child class. Now, the ability to inherit members from a base class allows derived classes to be created that share certain common properties. Okay, so that's where the inheritance comes in. Now, if we were to create a polygon class and we define the width and height properties that are common to all polygons, then the rectangle and the triangle class can inherit those from the polygon class and be able to use width and height. Now, the virtue of inheritance is extremely powerful, and it is the second principle of object-oriented programming. A derived class declaration adds parentheses after the class name and specifies the name of the parent or base class within the parentheses. So we're going to look at how that works in Python. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to open up my polygon. And here's my polygon class, and I'm going to come right here. Let's scroll this and then open polygon. So you are going to declare a base class with two class variables and a method to set their values. So we have class polygon, that is our declaration with our class name, colon, we have width equals 0, height equals 0. Then we are going to create a method that set values, or a function for set values. Remember, functions and methods are similar, just depends on how you're calling them. So we are setting the value self, we always make sure self goes in there, width, height, and then we have polygon.width, and we are going to be passing the width to this, and then we have polygon.height equals height, and we are passing the height, and then those values will get placed into the new variable. So this is our polygon. Next it says create a program file to declare a derived class with a method to return, let's move this over here, manipulated class variables, variable values, and save it as rectangle. So let's open rectangle. And right here. So first thing we have to do, we have to import Polygon, because Polygon is our parent class. So from Polygon, we want to import everything that's used in that program. Then we have class rectangle. And then right here, this is the biggest thing you need to remember, is that you need to put the base class within the parentheses. Then I am going to define this method right here that says area self, make sure that you put self in there, return self.width times self.height. So when we create our instance of our rectangle, we are going to pass it the width and the height, and then that is going to get passed to the base class so that it can have those values added into width and height, and then we bring it into ours and we can manipulate that information and multiply it together. Okay, now we need another one for our triangle. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to open triangle. Same exact thing here. We have our from polygon import all. We're importing everything. We have our class triangle and then polygon, because that is our parent class. Then we have our method for calculating the area of a triangle. We have the self, because remember we have to have self within the parentheses. Return self.width times self.height divided by 2. And I'm just spacing stuff out so it just looks neater. And that is going to give us our just ignore that. That's a problem with my file. And I'm just saving all of these because I don't actually run these. These don't print anything or do anything. I just need to save them. And the last thing we need to do, according to our program, is we need to create a fourth program file making all the features of the derived classes available. So I'm going to open my inheritance. And here I have from rectangle import all, from triangle import all. Then I am going to create an instance of each of my derived classes. I have rectangle equal rectangle, tray equal triangle. So I could have passed values here, but instead I'm passing them here. So I have rectangle.setValues. So I am calling the set values. And where did set values come from? That comes from the polygon. Because I'm importing from rectangle and triangle, who also imported from polygon, the parent class, I can use this set values because that's in my parent class location. So now I call set values and I'm passing it my numbers. Then I'm going to print out rect.area. That is going to go to my rectangle class file, and it is going to calculate the area based on what I put in that particular area method. And then here tray.area, and that's going to calculate based on that one. So when we click run, here we have our rectangle area 20, triangle area 10. And if we come down here, we have our code. Matches, everything looks good. If you have any questions about deriving classes, parent and child, I know that it can be confusing. Please let me know and I will be more than happy to answer your questions for you. Make sure you do the check for understanding.